cold, hard truth about online business. The digital marketplaces are flooded. Every single day, dozens of new software tools, training courses, and automated systems using AI launch on platforms like Warriorplus, JVZoo, and Launchpad. Now, before you get the wrong impression about my intentions, let's be entirely clear. Some of the most powerful tools we use today, that are turned into industry standards, they started right inside those marketplaces. There are brilliant developers and honest marketers launching genuine solutions there every single week. Tools like Scribble, Spin Rewriter, Wishloop, Click Designs, which I use regularly myself, and Optimize Press were either launched on JVZoo or relaunched on it in order to take advantage of the massive army of affiliates who are willing to promote a product for a commission. The thing is that sitting right next to those high-quality tools is an ocean of shiny objects engineered solely to exploit your desire for a quick fix and also to drain your wallet. So you have to be very careful and inquisitive to be able to tell the difference, to separate the wheat from the chaff. That's exactly what we're going to be learning how to do in this video. As you can obviously recognize, the problem is not the platforms. Platforms like JVZoo, Warriorplus, Launchpad, or Digistore. The problem is that nobody ever handed you a filter to separate the wheat from the chaff. And even though you actually can use some common sense, the truth is that when you take a good look at what really happens, it seems obvious that common sense is not that common. On top of that, if you are between 40, 50, or 60 plus, you do not have the time or the capital to play roulette with your retirement or your business budget. Unless you are some rich guy with plenty of money to throw away, but then I find it really hard to believe that you would be spending your retirement years on those websites instead of enjoying your time out there, in the real world. Either way, the point is that you cannot afford to keep guessing which product is a real asset and which one is a trap. At least, not at this stage in your life. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Herman. I help frustrated affiliates protect their mindset against the traps that waste their money and precious time. My goal is to help you cut through the hype, stop chasing distractions, and build simple systems that fund your life instead of stealing your freedom. And in this video, I'm going to give you an unshakable 4-step checklist that takes about 5 minutes to run. It's a rapid, very specific framework that I use to audit any launch before I ever let my audience or my own credit card near it. It doesn't take hours of research. It just takes 5 minutes of focused, intelligent analysis. And so I invite you to turn your attention to my screen right now, and let's run a live audit on how to separate the wheat from the chaff. The first step in this framework requires you to check the vendor's track record. Why? Well, it's obvious, it's logical. If you have to know who you are buying something from. If it's somebody who has a bad rap, who has, been scamming people, and you buy from them and you get scammed, then the logic tells that you made a mistake yourself. You should have actually checked the vendor's track record. How do you do that? Well, one place where you can do this is MunchEye. As you can see, MunchEye.com it keeps the eye on IM launches. So basically, it's a calendar, as you can see here, the different dates of all the different products that are coming up in the next few weeks. And you will see that always at the beginning, you have the vendor's name. And some vendors are very, very famous. These are on the big launches side, and others are not as big, and you'll see them on the all launches side, which is people who are smaller, who are not that popular. So let's say, for instance, let's take somebody here who is not as famous, at least that I haven't seen all the time, Victory et al. I think he's a little bit big. We'll find out. When you click on the product, you will have this section here, vendor. And right here, when you click on here, you will see the products this person has created. Oh, you can see that produce many products. But if you go at the products and look at what the type of products they're producing is AI, 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 Okay, social links, and you can see the dates, the space between launches. It will give you an idea if that person just found a framework or a basic blueprint that they can use to recycle launches, and they just keep launching very, very similar products that are not super complete, but at least do the little work that was mentioned in the sales page and that was promised, and that makes them relatively very proficient in generating launches every week, almost sometimes. And Victory Appcos is a big vendor. He, as you can see, he produces a lot. I only saw Victory here, but when you go in here, you see the actual name, right? So let's find somebody else. Let's take Neil Napier. I know he is a big vendor as well, and his products have been online sometimes for years and years, and they're still functioning. I know Viddle is for a long time. I chat Gorilla. All the Gorilla versions of software are from him. He tends to produce very good software, and he maintains that software for a long time. Some of his products are what they're called evergreen products. What's the key question that you have to keep in mind when you are checking the track record of a vendor? You mainly have to ask yourself, are they launching a brand new revolutionary system every 30 days? Here's something to ponder before you take out your credit card. If a vendor releases 12 completely automated wealth systems a year, it means their previous 11 secrets didn't work. Or they have somehow mastered a system of recycling very similar products in a very rapid fashion. And I think that happens a lot. You can see, let me pick somebody here, Todd Gross, very big vendor. I go here to Todd Gross, and look, he is more into video funnels, video marketing publisher, Video Jeet, which is, I think, a very old program that's still out there for a while. Something related to YouTube, also video, traffic, press release traffic, that's interesting, video pop funnels. So he is always involved in something related to video. But his products, if you go and check the type of fame he has, he is considered a big vendor that produces good products. And some of his tools are still working there and have been for a long time, especially in the video niche. If I go to this other person, Cephas Tope, he's producing some kind of AI. Say, this is his first launch. Does that mean that he's going to be a bad vendor? Not necessarily. But the fact that he doesn't have a history means that you need to go a little bit deeper in trying to find out more information about him. So MunchEye can give you the answer to a lot of these questions. And the most important thing that you have to keep in mind is the fact that you are collecting data points, and the track record of a vendor is a very important piece of information. It's a data point that you have to keep in mind. As a rule of thumb, look for developers who launch a tool, stick around to update it, and support their user base over a long haul. Maybe not forever, but at least for a couple of years. The best examples that come to mind right now are products like, for instance, let me show you one that's been there for a long time, Scribble. Yeah, it's been there for a very long time. So much so that they started with a lifetime payment. And after a while, because he wanted to keep supporting this product, he decided, the only way of doing this is by making it a monthly thing. And he started doing that. The thing is, the vendor history, the track record tells you a lot. And that's step number one. That is the first part of your framework to determine if a product is wheat or is chaff. Now, the second aspect of this framework, of this blueprint, is to start thinking in terms of logic versus hype. Ask yourself, does the math of what they're offering me make sense? If a sales page promises that a $17 software will generate thousands without content, traffic, or effort, somewhere in there, you will certainly find a violation of the laws of business physics. It makes no sense. What I'm trying to say here is that you need to use your wits and some logic to see behind the promises of the sales page. In my book, Honesty is written with capital letters. So when a product clearly states that you still have to do the work, they earn lots of points with me. High quality tools don't promise to do the work for you. They promise to make your execution faster and easier. At the same time, in these times of AI, it pays to learn what AI can and cannot do. So to be honest, in certain cases, AI can and will do the work for you. For credits or tokens or however they are called right now. And that means for money. So you got to pay. Obviously, the amount of work that you're going to get back for the money that you're putting in, if you are smart and you know what you're doing, will be bigger than, the output will be bigger than the input. So you'll basically get a good return on your investment if you know what you're doing. But still, you are paying more money to produce a result. As long as this is very clear in your mind, you should not have a problem with it. It's just another data point that you're collecting to be able to make informed decisions. So let's take a look at one thing here. I was just looking at this product here, Commission Ninja, $29. They're offering 50-cent commissions to the affiliates. Let's see. And when I look at this page, immediately, and this is not negative on the vendor, it's just my impression right now when I look at the page. It's not the page is not properly done. Look, it's not even centered here. And here, instead of, it looks weird. If you look at this, it's not like done by a professional. And in this day and age, that you can use AI to make really nice web pages. This should not be looking like this. And for $29, and it seems to be just information. They're not offering more than information. Yes, you will learn, and yes, you have to do the work, but the price is a little bit too big, in my opinion. $29 for this is a little bit too much. And as I say, look, this break here, it was done like by a person who's being a beginning. And the fact that this is their first product. Let me see. Let's go back there. Commission Ninja, Indrajit has a few launches, not many, but this does not, to be quite honest, convince me. This is a data point. You get the information. You look at the page, you see what they say. I'm not reading everything here. I'm just going by the presentation. And if the presentation is not the best, if they didn't try to make an extra effort to charge you the $29 they want to have from you, I don't know. In my opinion, not worth it. Even though the information might be very valuable, but I'm almost of the opinion that it is a PLR product that they just branded and are trying to resell. Nothing wrong with that if you're doing it right, but make an effort. Make an effort, do a very nice presentation, create a nice package to offer whatever you're offering. And that makes a big difference, especially for $29, for this price. Anyway, let's go to the third step in the framework, in the blueprint. And that has to do with the hidden funnel map. Basically, what I'm trying to show you here, and this is a secret trick that you can use here in MunchEye to find out a little bit more about a product. This website is like a gold mine for all this information. You have to think, if a product has a front end, this is the first thing you buy when you buy a product. When you go to the sales page, they're selling you something. But in this world, there's always a funnel. What is a funnel? A funnel is a series of sales pages that build on top of each other. So you buy the first one, and then the next one will tell you, okay, yeah, thank you, you bought that, but your order is not complete. If you do buy this other product, then you can achieve this and this. So sometimes the second product is something completely different that enhances or completes, complete is the wrong word, enhances the first product you buy. That's okay. If you don't want to have it, you still get what you wanted, what was promised on the first page. But if, on the other hand, that second product is something you must have in order to complete the first product, the front end, then there's something wrong, because they're forcing you to buy two products, but they promise you that with the first one, you were able to do everything. So it's something that you have to decide. And again, it's another data point. You, by looking at the number of steps in a funnel, you can also see, oh, they are just in a money grabbing mentality, or they're actually trying to help me with this product that's valuable. Let me show you a couple of funnels. You just pick one. Let's go to Andrew and Chris Fox, and let's go to their JV page, because that's where you will see their funnel, an explanation of the funnel. Okay. Main contest, phase, Here's the funnel. See? The front end is Go Beaver AI. It costs $39. And then Super Spy, no explanation what it is actually. And then the Pro Edition, AI Genius of Social Beaver. And then this, and then Super Affiliate Done For You, Affiliate Club, White Label. But what is all these different things? What are they? Sometimes you get an explanation only if you go to the famous JV doc. So let's go there. This is a little bit more information in here. And if you go to the funnel, here's the funnel, and here's a little bit more explanation. So you can see what it is. 30 plus the Pro Edition, how it works. Unlock Super Affiliate Beaver Pro for a one-time special price and supercharge your results instantly. And this is what you're going to get extra if you go to the second upsell. If you go to the third upsell, this is what you're going to get. You can see the preview of the sales page of the upsell, and then you can evaluate, you have more data points and you can determine if that's something you want to have. See, the thing is, and this is something I've discovered, is if I know what the funnel is in advance, I can decide in advance, okay, this makes sense and this makes sense. So I'm going to get the front end, and I'm going to get the second upsell. But I don't need the first upsell and all the other stuff that comes after that. So that makes a difference. That helps you actually make a logical decision. You're not making a decision based in an emotional state that you get after you just paid for the front end, and then you go to the second sales page and they start telling you stuff. I don't know if you can get my drift. You keep control in your hand. And this is, JV docs, as you can see here, are the key to finding out more information about launches. And sometimes the information you have here is very, very interesting. So it's worth it always to come to MunchEye, try to find the JV doc and take a look at the JV doc and know exactly what they are offering. Not from the standpoint of an affiliate, which obviously makes sense if you want to be an affiliate and you want to offer the product, but also from the standpoint of a consumer, somebody who wants to buy the product. If you find it interesting, then you can come and actually take a look exactly what is being offered. That's step number 3. And now the last one, let me go back to MunchEye. The final step is the ecosystem and continuity. So something you have to think about. How long will I be able to benefit from this product? This is the final minute of your audit, and it looks at the backend destination. In this product, a standalone island that forces you to go out and buy 5 other tools to make it work is not what you want to get. You want to have an ecosystem. You want to invest your time in environments that consolidate your business, minimize your tech stack, and focus on steady execution. What do I mean by this? Just as an example that comes to mind of what I mean with this, let's take a look at the high-level ecosystem. So let me go to this website for high level. This is just, I'm not trying to sell you this, but I find this as a perfect tool that has an ecosystem that you can actually use to reduce your technical stack instead of making it bigger. So I love this screen here. Yeah, this one here. So it replaces HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, WordPress, Wix, Shopify, WooCommerce, JotForm, Typeform, Skipio, MailChimp, HubSpot, SendLane, Calendly, Keep, Air, Synthflux, Jasper, Drift, Yext, BrightLocal, Magix, Teachable, Kajabi, School, Circle, CallRail, BeardEye, Podium, DocuSign, Pandoc, and you still have things that are only unique to high level. So does that make sense? This is an ecosystem. This has continuity. This is a massive software. So a lot of what these other products offer you in these launches, you can get from getting access to high level. And that, my friends, is how you run a 5-minute forensic audit on any product launch before you ever give away your focus, your time, and most importantly, your hard-earned money. Remember, marketplaces like Warriorplus and JVZoo are not the enemy. They are just giant digital cities. They contain some of the most innovative time-saving tools in our industry, but they also contain plenty of dark alleys designed to keep you trapped in the consumer mindset. By running these 4 simple checks and using the trick I showed you, you hand yourself the ultimate psychological shield. You stop reacting like a desperate consumer looking for a loophole, and you start evaluating tools like a real digital asset builder. Thinking about the real benefit you can get from a tool and not just going by feeling an emotion. If you look at the software and it fails even one of these steps, close the tab, protect your bandwidth. Your time is too valuable to spend it piecing together a broken jigsaw puzzle. Is it going to be that easy? Maybe not. You will most likely fall for it a couple of times, but now you know, and that's key. If you're tired of running audits on fragmented tools and you want to step into an environment that was intentionally designed from day one to pass this test, then click the link in the description below and look into the OLSP Academy ecosystem. It is a simple, pre-built environment with a unified dashboard and a clear linear training path. There are no missing engine parts or hidden technical traps. It gives you one primary link, the MegaLink, handling the automated tracking and sales infrastructure in the background, specifically so you can cut the noise and focus entirely on your own unique human voice. It's the exact tool-killing architecture I use to keep my business lean and my time almost completely free. If you learned something in this video, drop a comment below with the words, "I audit before I invest," and let me know which of these 4 steps has been your biggest blind spot in the past. Let's start the conversation and build a community of skeptical, intelligent creators. Oh, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to protect your focus, guard your capital, and build real digital assets for the second half of your life. I'm Bock, and I'll see you in the next video.